Early on, though, with the pace of the pitch, he can rely on good strokes along the ground, you'd think.
Wolf. The Prophet Slater.
Well, that's what he does. He just crashes. He just crashes through a line. He lights up when anything is in that zone, and he's trusting that he hits the gap like he has on this occasion.
Oh, get your arrow out to him. If you're going at the moment, get it along the ground, not head high, on catchable height, just in case you don't get it in the middle of the bat like you're trying to.
And even with slips in place, the third man couldn't get there.
Oh no, this is not a good start from England's attack. Combination of some width and some over pitching.
Yeah, both attacks have done it, haven't they? They haven't been able to maintain an appropriate length and line for the Perth wicket. You know you want to be foolish, try to let the ball swing and maybe get an outside edge, but they've all been over full, over pitch and then short, and then a little bit wide, sometimes on the hip of the batsman. So bowling conditions aren't easy today, I would say, because both attacks have erred.
And that's 4-2. Finch just dropping the bat on the ball.
Yeah, and the last two have been brilliant, haven't they? They've been along the turf. You cannot get out if you play them in that manner. They've been very full, so they should be along the ground as well. But he just sweats on that width. You give him full width or short width, and he will put your way through there all day long. He may shell the odd one to the fieldsman, but if he gets that width, he will get away, and then you've got to hope for luck to pull him back. That's the sort of player he is. He's a power hitter. He just tries.
Waiting to rumble.
So that's a better line to Finch. And
Front knee, the front thigh, and no fielder out there.
What a stroke that is. Powerful. And stats might like to refer to the body shape there. That was perfect.
yeah, just waited on it. It's just using the whacker pitch to your advantage. He was in such good position. He's just watched the ball, responded. And it is such a good pitch, and you get the first one away, and then you can just motor. That's a quality stroke. Already he's 17.
There aren't many players latch on to a marginally bad ball as quick as Aaron Finch does. What a start by the Australians. The night, the final viewers' verdict, 80% reckon England can't do it tonight. The start suggests they might not. It's safe, just over mid-wicket's head. Oh, Aaron Finch toys with us all.
He just got enough control into the shot.
That you love, the good, the salmon, and it's just wide of off stump.
Or I think, yeah. Not that it should have been. So James Treadwell, who was at first slip a moment ago when Alistair Cook was off the field, makes a complete mess of being at mid-on.
Wasn't the best of bounces. You get something more than that behind the ball. Jordan got 116.
And the best stroke of the lot from Aaron Finch.
Yeah, he's looking good now. He's in control. He waited on that. You can see that he's just pulled back a little bit of energy out of his wanting to hit the ball. He's caressed that one. He's playing it later. Lets it come, lets it come. Full control. Yeah, just jumping into that one. That's a better line to Finch anyway. He'll...
Chopped away, third man, only a single. So they've just put the brakes on a little here, England, after Australia burst out of the blocks.
Really good.
Going to have at least one added to the total, and that'll do. Stokes. Oh, good shot. Really good shot. Just that little bit of width, and he's good enough to punish.
And that's exactly right, James Brayshaw. He's good enough to punish him. Just saying, England were going through a nice little period since the fall of Sean Marsh. Haven't seen a boundary for about 3 or 4 overs. And Finch has been patient. He's played with a nice straight bat. Gets one that little bit wider. That's that foot we're talking about. It's a little bit of shape to it, swinging away a bit, but it's just too wide. And Finch is good enough to find the gap. That's good batting.
A good variation. Maybe it's a better option than the slower ball.
Yep.
Possible to stop that single with this field. 1 for 58 now, Australia after 11. Kent is the county for Treadwell. Full of that time and a long on, so just a single. Finch goes long and straight. Pick the bones out of that.
I reckon that might have been one of those cutters again, or attempted cutter. And this time Finch was good enough to pick it out of the hand. Oh, maybe just a slightly slower ball. It was a rolling delivery. It wasn't hitting the deck hard, and Finch said, thank you. Picked it up early enough for just straight back over his head.
Well, I believe Finch has thought at the beginning of this over that if he's anywhere near my half, I'm launching with mid-off.
Yep.
Single there to Aaron Finch.
Yeah, Tate and Ruggy, that's what we used to call him. Not Doug.
Long boundary today at the Wacker. Square one towards Queen's Gardens.
Treadwell, he's been good so far. 2.1 overs, none for 6. Surely a big shot is around the... Oh, here it is now. It's false. And the man set for him out there. Treadwell wins that little battle.
And he's hitting.
Sydney was not many more than 100 balls. Having started slowly, might have been 93 balls. And that's another good over by Treadwell. Unluckily gets the rebound in the last 12 months. Finch is pushing hard for 2. He doesn't need it because a single brings up a 50 for him of 54 balls.
Forceful innings. He looks a real powerful player, Aaron Finch. And you just feel he can go big. Responsibility with him now just to see this through and get himself a century. If he gets a century, Australia have got every chance.
Bresnan 5.1 overs, 1 for 17, so over the top. Oh, there's another one. That's really high. Has it got the legs to go for 6? Of course it does.
Another wonderful shot. Power shot. 17 overs, 1 for 87.
End of last over. That's 6. Bresnan had bowled a good over, gets the length okay, and he just skies it about 70 metres long. Then the players took drinks, and now we're back with Treadwell.
Nice.
Can't get it at him just yet. So the phone number for that stump, 21 stumps available. It's called Ashes to Ashes. It's 1300 6
services here in Australia. But not that long a flight to get between the two.
Man being put back for that now.
Well, just give you another, just a reminder what I'm saying, that England played back-to-back against New Zealand.
The rate they'd love. That's why they'll start to try to pick. They have been trying to pick it up, but Bresnan and Treadwell have made it very difficult to do.
Well,
It might be a 350 deck.
It's full this time. There's a man out there, but he's taken on the crowd. It's long.
Roof time, and he stayed up there.
Yeah, his judgment is outstanding today, Finch. Once he's got going, his strokes have just been spot on. He's understood when to go in the air, and that brings up the 100 for Australia. He's played nicely along the ground as well. And this ball, it's not returning.
Well, it's like stuck in the neighbour's shed, isn't it? Come on, give us our ball back. You're not having it back. There it is, the game stopped, hasn't it? Backyard cricket, neighbour's shed, that's it. The ball's gone.
We've got a new one out. Oh, he's flat batted this one. It's just as effective. It's 6 and Treadwell's feeling the pinch.
Brilliant. He's the man to stop. For England to win, they need to get Finch.
Well, he's dangerous. 7 fours, 4 sixes, 71 from 6. And it's one of those long lunches and lots of toasts.
And public holiday?
No, I don't think so.
Can't remember because you go to the lunch all the time. No protection down the ground over the bowler. So Stokes has got to be careful. So over the top of those two men, lots.
Australian point of view. One-day player of the year for Australia. And he named recently at the Allen Border Medal night, so he's been in good form. Big question at the start of play was, could he...
Performance in Shield cricket.
Well, you could probably say a similar thing about James Pattinson. He's back in the side because of results.
Thinking that the quicks will do the damage. Well, Maxwell and Christian got the first two right when Australia needed them. Yeah, Sean Marsh showed plenty of promise. He liked that shot too. He played a beauty just before his dismissal. Beat seconds.
You can get away with playing loose fashion outside off stump. But all of a sudden you're in a test match where there's 3 slips in the gully and the ball's swinging a little bit and they're going to bowl consistently wide of off stump. 4.5 overs. He just scored 29.
Well, credit to Stokes here, who's doing the simple thing well. Cook has set him a straight.
Well, that just mean 80 or 90. Probably 120 plus. Look that away. Look for 2. Probably have to settle for 1. So therefore, they've still got 1 remaining. Oh, that's 4. That's the start that Chris Jordan didn't want. Come on to bowl, he had trouble early on today with his run-up and his rhythm, and he starts off with a boundary in this spell.
Oh, it's a heck of a stroke. It's hard to be critical of the ball. It's on a length, a fullish length, a tad outside off stump. And Finch just climbs into it. Immaculate timing. It's a really good move into the ball.
You see in that first replay, still having trouble with that run up there. A couple of short steps, still not the rhythm that he was after. Alistair Cook's gone into first slip. He sees an opportunity here, and it's good captaincy. Punch that away for a single. And 7 from the over, 3 for 1.
So he responds with the second ball being short.
It's caught by the keeper. Yep.
There's a waft. You see the big gap down backward square.
It's again a tidy over. 3 for 145. Alistair Cook got himself in a deep slip. It's a run-saving slip. Call of 2 here. Might get it too. It's really well played. It's good pace. It's worked it nicely into a gap on the onside.
Pretty orthodox mid-wicket. 5 men saving a single.
Yep. Oh, chance here. No, Smith's quick enough. Responded straight away.
Maybe there's just been a couple of things that have dropped for him tonight. as he's held a lot of the drives back. Oh, it's in the air. That's the one that can get him in trouble. But a lot of his driving through that area, he's just waited half a beat, and therefore everything's in a nice position along the ground. And I think he's probably found maybe another method, but that last one was a little bit of old. He sees it up and he just flays through it. The head is slightly back.
It's set enough now to be able to find the gap. I wouldn't have been as worried with that. But the thing with Aaron now is he's got to get to 100 quickly and then realise that he's got a hell of a lot more to do.
And so Finch on 96, he can get there. He gets one, but can't get it away to the boundary. It is the single. Moves to 97. Here's Bapara. Can he change things? Another single to Finch, 98. Well, he loves it so much here that he departed years ago. Result at the outset without his partner Warner. He'll be pushing for two. He'll be pushing for two. He comes back and raises the bat for the second century in this series.
Well, he's played brilliantly, he really has. Just look at the size of him. Appreciated by this Wacker crowd, and he's got unfinished business. Long way to go yet, but he's got a wonderful century.
Yeah, good boy, Finchy. He's a good man, and he's starting to feel really comfortable at this level, and he will be such an asset for Australia. I think he'll end up captaining this one-day side. He's got great presence.
So well. Second century.
Yeah, third overall. Such early days in his one-day career. He's 27 years of age. His highest score. We've got fine leg in place as Broad starts. Very full from Broad. Always a single. Those men are pushed back.
Well, one of the issues for Alistair Cook is Treadwell, because Aaron Finch sized him up at the end of his...
There's been at times a gusty breeze coming from inland Australia. And Finch in control still. It's fairly placid at this stage. They need a platform, those final 10 overs.
Batters can play the shot, spinners get bounce.
As part of that discussion with Glenn Maxwell.
That's good placement. There'll be two. Comfortable. Just needs to keep things going here, Finch. Stay in control.
What's he going to do with Broad? Ball him this one and keep him three.
Gloucester Park, of course, and weekend racing. Most Friday and Saturdays.
At that level. That's out. That's nicely caught. Broad knows it. They all know it. England run to Broad because it's the big fish, Big Finch.
Yeah, Tim Bresnan is the man who's delivered it for England. Geez, bowled well tonight. He was the man who brought it back earlier on when he picked up Sean Marsh after Marsh and Finch has got away early doors. He comes on now. They're just checking the front foot. Absolutely fine. Not even close there. And he gets Aaron Finch. It's a really good hand from Aaron Finch. 108 from 111. But will it be enough for Australia? Still got plenty to do, but his second 100 in this series. Well played, Aaron Finch.